so what's happening, BK Busy? We to talk real quick. So of course we've heard everybody. You've heard me. You heard Charlamagne the God. You heard Joe Budden. You heard Drake and Kendrick themselves. You heard DJ Academics. You heard Molly Ma, or Mealy Ma, as Academics lovingly calls Maul and Rory. Everybody has had to give their opinion and their peace of mind on this Drake and Kendrick battle, except one person specifically, Baby Keem, the man who probably walked over and played first-person shooter to Kendrick Lamar while this nigga was running around the park or doing somersaults and backflips. But now Baby Keem finally, and I do say finally, reveals what he thought about Kendrick Lamar's beef with Drake. So we here to talk about it. Like, subscribe, help your boy out, help your boy grow. I ain't here to waste too much of your time hyping all that little itty bitty nonsense, but we here to talk. So, everybody and their mama talked about the Kendrick Lamar and Drake beef, but one of the latter's relatives, Baby Keem, didn't until now. Baby Keem stayed pretty quiet throughout his cousin Kendrick Lamar's beef with Drake. But to be fair, the California talent was silent for the last 4 to 5 years since dropping The Melodic Blue in 2021. However, now that he's back in the headlines and taking interviews thanks to Casino, great project by the way, very good project, I enjoyed that album, he's sharing his thoughts on the subject. He tells the New York Times' Ross Scarano that their battle felt like two heavyweight fighters going at it in the ring. To quote him directly, Keem says, "For me, it felt like a sport." That's a pretty accurate way to describe it, as both icons were not only competing lyrically, but also vying for chart positioning. I wouldn't say necessarily so, just because Not Like Us blew up to the point it had some bop to it that became like a hard ass diss song. Niggas was over here dancing like a motherfucker, you know what I'm saying? But besides all that, like, I don't feel necessarily they were trying to chase chart success. And that's why I thought it was hilarious that Kendrick out Drake, that he made a hit single, a diss song, that what Drake did to Meek Mill went back to back. But anyways. The Family Ties rapper also expressed how the back and forth feud and chatter around it gave him an ego boost. "I was so confident that sometimes you forget to be proud," he added. So he's talking about Casino. It seems with this comment, he means that knowing he has the support of an all-time great like Kendrick Lamar, all cousins aside, gives him peace of mind. In addition, the confidence to go on and do great things in his own career. He adds, the greatest artist of all time being behind him and his work has given him the most confidence in the world. That checks out, seeing as Baby Keem recently took to X to respond to all of the criticism of Casino. The project hasn't had the same staying power as previous releases, with its hits like Good Flirts, with Lamar not sticking on the J. Yeah, I didn't really fuck with that song like that. I ain't gonna cap, I didn't fuck with that song like that, man. It was cool. It was cool for what it was, but I ain't fuck with it like that. It seems the long wait for a short project has also played a factor in the album coming and going for many, but Keem still has a supreme belief in his abilities. Hey, that sex appeal song, that's my shit, I ain't gonna lie. And he affirms his detractors that he's sticking around for the long haul, not about to keep pretending like I'm not the best N-word, I'm not going nowhere, don't worry, I'm mad now. So hey, listen, if this put the battery in your back to do what you do, it is what it is. Now, again, I'm not surprised by his comments. We all know his relation to Kendrick Lamar at this point. If you didn't know, they are cousins. So, again, I'm not surprised. I do like the aspect of him saying, like, hey, it was a heavyweight battle. These one of them is my cousin. He's like the greatest artist in the world. This nigga is pushing me to be great. So again, that gives me way more confidence than ever. And again, like I said, if you seen like the documentary, what was it, like Boo Man and all this other stuff going on before Casino, the Casino album, some of the songs hit harder because having that extra context and meaning to some of that shit is like, damn, he was going through it. And you still put out this. It was a good project. I enjoyed it. Now, again, yes, it was a short project. I could see. Does it hold up to the Melodic Blue? I would not say so. But again, I enjoyed it. I ain't mad. I'm not necessarily going to say he took a step back. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But I would say maybe not as, not necessarily staying power, but didn't elevate him to new heights. I feel like he's just where he's at. It was like, he just kept him in the middle, in my opinion. But again, this is not an album review. Again, it is what it is. Everybody's gonna have their opinion on this Drake and Kendrick battle. In my opinion, Kendrick won that shit. If we're gonna be fair, some niggas might think, Drake won that shit somehow. I don't know. You might have to break it down or explain it to me. But again, they're still going through their careers. Iceman dropped. Niggas is fucking with Iceman. The other two albums. And again, we'll see how this goes and how this transpires. But besides that, bro, yeah, that's really all I got to say about it. Shout out Baby Keem. Shout out Drake. Shout out Kendrick. Let's keep this shit going. But besides all that, you already know what it is. It's your friendly neighborhood K.A. signing off for today. The Black TJ Dick Wilder doing his thing. My name ring bells like Quasimodo. Hit like, subscribe, and hype you. Trying to hear a little bit more. You heard me? And I'm gone. Slimes on P. Shells gang. Aye.